sing our pack of the week?
Yeah, we need pack of the week song. What's up, everybody? It is Friday, April 11th. We got Adam Peak, People of Packaging Podcast.
Boom. I'm just so pumped about all the winning I've been doing the last few days.
Big W's.
House of the Rising Sun.
What kind of winning? What are we talking about?
I'm just, like, here's the thing. I lost $100. I just lost it.
Tariffs?
And then, no, I just lost it. It just went away. But then yesterday, I found $40. I was like, this is the greatest day ever.
Nailed it.
See, that's just like tariffs.
Math.
That's like the stock market.
Math. It's just all the winning.
Like drop, and it's all boop. I was like, oh my God, we're winning.
This is the greatest day. Well, except for I lost $100. At least I didn't.
Hey.
At least I'm up 40.
There you go. Yeah. And we got our buddy Cory Connors,
Good morning.
host of Sustainable Packaging Podcast at Corrugated on the TikToks.
Yeah. TikTok for life. or at least for the next 90 days until they cancel it again.
Yeah.
TikTok's not getting canceled. Are you crazy?
Oh.
Is it going to happen?
They talked about it. Yeah.
If I was China, I would just
Turn it off.
Yeah, I'd be like,
The amount of money that app pumps into our economy is incredible. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Don't say that out loud.
Not supposed to talk about.
You'll get deported. Hey, and then you got me, Evelio Mattos, who could get deported, host of Packaging Unboxed podcast. Today we got Pack of the Week. We got some pretty cool stuff. We're going to tear it apart, and some of us like it, some of us don't. We want to know what you think, and what do you got to say about this? What are your thoughts, Adam?
2 thumbs up.
All right, so let's show this pack here.
He wouldn't fall for it this time.
I didn't fall for it. Next time I'm going to log in early and I'm going to drive. And I'm just going to cut you off randomly. Even after the intro, we'll just double the intro.
All right.
Vengeance is mine.
I saw this pack. I thought this was pretty cool. It's Nimble. It was cool enough to check out. And
put an AI hand in the background.
Yeah. It's called Nimble Tech for Good. You've got a kraft box with silkscreen or Flexo. No.
Probably Flexo.
What's that, Cor?
I would think Flexo, but
yeah, I'm looking at this little line on the inside of that B. That looks like the pressure off of Flexo. So then you got white on this kraft, and then you've got these graphics, which are super sharp.
That's not kraft.
Oh, it is.
No, it's not.
What do you think it is?
I think it's printed kraft.
No, it's kraft.
So that whole blue.
There's fibers.
part.
There's like you can see kraft fibers because I saw this on my
I held this in my hand. I looked through. You can see on the along the edge here.
On the inside, I believe that it's a paper box. It looks to me like it's printed 4-color process kraft, which happens a lot in Asia. They use board. They print the kraft on there. That looks really good. I noticed it on my New Balance box when I did the shoes because it looked like kraft. I was like, oh, and then you open up the inside and there's kraft on the inside and you can see it. When you take a loop to it, you can see the dot. The dots are printed.
Yeah, this is so good from Hugh. He's saying he felt out of place. We put a hat on.
No cap, you.
No cap.
Catherine Gender coming in, impressive self-control there.
Thank you, Catherine.
Well done.
Digital.
It could be.
I think maybe
Digital label.
It could be inkjet.
that label. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It is not.
I'm telling you this though. So my New Balance box, I looked at the FSC certification. It was made in Dongguan, China. When you run your fingers,
if you run the FSC, yeah.
When you run your fingers over it, it feels like kraft until you take a loop to it and you realize it is printed kraft. on the outside. So it could be an inkjet digital because that white does really pop off of the kraft. It's not. It's going to be some sort of screen or an inkjet white. If I had to guess, it's not going to be offset or flexo traditional.
But the blue line there, the light blue, Evelio, didn't you say that was a label? Or is the whole print a label?
This whole print is a label.
Okay, then I think
This
Adam might be right. Yeah.
Wait. You think who's right?
I think Adam might be right. If the whole print is a label, it's
No.
It's fake.
No.
Okay.
All of this brown is brown kraft. It might be a Canadian kraft because of how tight all the fibers are, but
that makes sense.
This
Canadian,
like blue, this beeper looking thing, charger, all of this is a die cut label and it wraps around. So it starts here and it goes down and goes around the back.
Okay. And
everything else that's kraft is like actual kraft, and the white is directly printed on this.
So they have one box to rule them all, and then they put a intricately die cut printed pressure sensitive label that they wrap around every box and it sticks to it. So that box is the same
look at this. All right, so this is one product. Here's another product.
Yeah, I see. So that's just a label on the front that they're printing and die cutting, which is a complete nightmare to do.
Yes.
Continue.
It's a lot of handwork. Yeah.
And it goes all the way around the back.
Yeah, is this the label has to be almost, is it like a litho label?
Yeah, Ryan's
like
right.
Spot litho label?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the quality of that, like you can see the detail in here.
Then I think Evelio's right. I think it's kraft paper.
What?
Evelio's wrong, and labels
Evelio is correct. And labels are great. Labels are beautiful.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I don't know. It was interesting because, I mean, it gives you a great print. It's kraft. There's no lamination on here, right? I mean, you can see on some of these labels are scuffing and stuff, so it's not like well protected. You can see the alignment's great, but you got like, maybe like 0.5 millimeter at the top here and some down here at the bottom, or it didn't align, so it's just kind of slightly off. It's kind of happen.
Is that a Canadian millimeter or?
No,
yeah.
there's a.
I agree. This is
a Canadian kraft. Just a tighter. Screens for someone to run on a digital printer.
Absolutely. I don't. As somebody who loves labels.
So here's a comparison, because this is, and I don't know which is the new packaging, which is the old packaging, but they had two different packs on the shelf. This one was printed. So all of this is actually printed on this, and it's still kraft. You can see how the color is kind of dull. So there's like a white underprint underneath this thing, and then you can print it. You can kind of see like the white edge happening around here. But that image is not as sharp. Obviously, these mountains are not as sharp as what's on the label. Because that's just like absorbing in there, and you got all of that texture happening.
So this is a multi-process. So let me tell you why I think the printing is beautiful. I think all that stuff is really cool. I don't like the fact that they've gone through all of this extra. They're doing a lot of stuff. This is all being made overseas.
It's a lot of handwork. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is meant to appeal to somebody who wants to buy a product that is more sustainable than another one, which it probably is, right? But the packaging, it's actually a lot of packaging for what the product is.
Could be way smaller.
They can drastically reduce their carbon footprint with smaller packaging, but instead, because they want to have the one box size that they print a bunch of and then slap in this label on there, there's going to be a ton of air that's going to ship in this. It's going to come over from, if this is all in the US, right? It's going to get tariffed at 125% until tomorrow. And then we don't know what it's going to be. And then it's going to all come over here, and there's going to be a ton of air in shipping. It's like,
what is going on with these images?
Well, you think that's packed in China or Asia?
That's 100% packed over there.
All right, so
a lot of intricate folds. Yeah.
All right, so here's kind of what's happening: is you've got this is being. Well, actually, I can't tell you if this is being made in China, but I did find an image of. I don't know why all these images are all screwed up.
Nimble phone chargers are primarily manufactured with key production in Shenzhen, Dongguan.
Yeah, I mean it tells you right here. Right? So along the bottom of the box, it tells you it's designed in California, made in China.
Yes, I think it's on their website.
Okay, but these are I mean they look great. This is the white underprint. I don't know why these images are all screwed up, but whatever. We'll keep going
because it's not kraft.
All of my digital print is my digital photo is like a weird negative. Get an issue here, but this is like
they hid all these digital messages in there just to make sure that people knew.
Yeah. So all right. So this is printing. It's shipping flat, and then it's being assembled wherever they make these products, right? Like they're shipping them flat, and then you pack the product, and you wrap the label. These interior pieces, these are all custom to the product inside. So there's longer panels, there's narrower ones. So the only benefit that they're getting from these labels is this outer piece here.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be that new pack that I showed, the one on the right, might be the new solution, where it's just a box that's narrower and it's printed directly on the kraft.
I'll tell you, a pet peeve of mine is those BS logos on the side where they just say, like, this logo means it's plastic free. That's not even a thing. I don't know.
Cory's ever gotten on this show.
Let him
cook. Let him cook, Cory. Let's hear it.
It's just like it's greenwashing. It's like, come on, don't do that. Don't do that. All these logos, like they just make stuff up.
It'd be great if we could see him, Evelio.
No, man, I don't know what's going on here. Let me hide this because that's being weird. It's being weird for me too, but I don't know. I think the logos, from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense.
Yeah,
because there isn't a plastic-free logo that exists.
Manipulating the market.
No. Like there's no plastic-free logo that exists. Right. Yeah. You have to create one in order to communicate that, because graphically you want to make sure it grabs your attention. Mm-hmm. So I don't fault them for that.
Okay. We'll give them a pass.
Yeah. I don't know. I like,
oh, there you go.
I like the interchange that we're experiencing between Hugh and Ryan in the comments.
As my 13-year-old says, "You doing too much, bruh," and that's a lot of words for a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
That's right.
No,
he's asking where I found these. I don't know. These were at the airport, one of those airport electronics shops. But like this, I don't know, going to these things here, right? So what do they got? They got plastic-free, 100% recyclable packaging. It is, the packaging was plastic-free. The product's not what the packaging was. Free e-waste recycling. So they've got a way that you can send your product back for them to recycle it. Oh, that was cool. There's no logo that exists for that. So they've got a truck on here.
That's nice.
Carbon neutral. They probably explain how it's carbon neutral on the website. Sustainable materials. I think the product had a certain percentage of recycled plastic in there. Ethical suppliers. Designed to last until you recycle your e-products.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the whole thing is terrible. It's just that there are things that can be done to drastically reduce the.
There are polymers in the ink.
I mean, technically, it's not plastic free.
Yeah,
but
and in the glue, right? Like,
and in the adhesive, right? Yeah.
But it's not gonna. There's no plastic that's gonna impede any sort of paper recycling. So I'm not as spun up on that. It is the conundrum between paper and plastic packaging is just this, right? Like that's a lot of air. That's a lot of void. That's a lot of waste to be freighting across the planet. And
or if you scale it down, does it get too small to recycle?
Well, it's definitely going to get too small in terms of if you use paper. If you flatten paper, it does a pretty good job of making its way where it's supposed to go. But
not if it's too small.
It has to be really small though for that. And I don't think these would get that small. But even if you had as weird as it is, just like a cheap plastic bag and a hanger, like a little, like that would be the easiest way to package this at Home Depot. And then you bulk put these into a shipper and they come over here and now the problem is, does it sell? Probably not. A lot of this is just marketing, right? A lot of the space is marketing.
That's what everything is.
And that's what everything is. I totally agree. But it's also okay to say that
you can't fault them for.
No, but there are trade-offs. My point is that there are trade-offs, right? So saying we're really, really green, we're really, really sustainable.
Yeah.
But also you can downgrade your packaging, right? Like if you really want to be all in on it, there are ways that you can go about it. And so I just bring it up to say, like, there's always compromises on this stuff. And I don't like it when brands are like, I don't need, what if the charger sucks? Right? Like sometimes brands will just put out all this stuff about how great they are for the environment, and then the charger doesn't last very long, or the cables are breaking down.
Yeah, we just return it.
Buying more. You cannot return that to an airport. Are you crazy?
But that's the case with anything that you buy. What if it sucks? That's not.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I found a lot of people who have to market like how good they are. Not all the time, but a lot of times when they have a product and all of their marketing is about how good they are for the planet, you can't. They lose credibility with the actual product.
What are you saying about Cory?
I'm like just.
What are you trying to say about Cory?
I'm saying I said what I said.
Oh man, this hurts.
No, but I like, it's not all the time, right? But like sometimes when all you talk about, like they could have done all this stuff, and when all you talk about on your product is how sustainable, how good the product is for the environment, and you do nothing to talk about what a good actual product it is. I get
ultra compact. It charges twice as fast. It's a dual charging port. I mean, it's a charger. What else is there to say?
Because I've had chargers that break down and suck, and I just have to throw them out. That would be my first thought when I see this.
Don't buy the cheap stuff.
I've bought the good stuff and it breaks down. I bought the cheap stuff and it breaks down.
I like
my first thought when I see this is they didn't put a lot of thought or money into the actual charger, and that it's a lot of sustainable marketing. That I could be totally wrong. That's my first thought. That's why I didn't like it when I saw it.
Do you know how much these sell for? These are like $8,000.
Oh, then change my mind. I'm buying. I got to buy early though, because the dollar is getting devalued. So
did you buy one, Evelio? Did you open it?
No, okay. I'm just kidding. I'm the last person to buy anything. No, but why it stood out was the fact that they were combining these two pieces. This die cut label is insane, and I don't know how they're cutting this, because it's insanely well registered in terms of like where this thing comes up and like wraps around.
It looks nice.
And great. And I thought the same thing too when I first grabbed it, was that this was a printed kraft. But as soon as once you grab it and you feel it, it's like it's kraft through and through. It's just a nice quality top sheet on that kraft for printing on it. But it's not cheap packaging.
I think it looks nice. So they did a good job.
It stood out on shelf where everything else on shelf was white with a big photo of the product, and everybody was trying, whether it was Sony or like some of these random startups with doing the same product.
Copying like Apple. Everybody's copying Apple all the time.
Yeah. It's like everything is white, and then you had a big picture of here.
It's antimicrobial, by the way.
This discussion of sustainable packaging reminds me of the compostable dog waste bags. It's fun. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a good conversation starter. So if you're out there and you're launching a product, follow Adam. Listen to what he's saying.
Yeah.
Don't do sustainable packaging. Just use a plastic bag.
I didn't say that. I said I'm going to order one, by the way. I found them on the Amazons. And I'm doing this. I'm ordering one to come in, and okay.
We'll do a follow-up.
We'll do a follow-up. I'm gonna look at it and then definitely not return it.
I'd be interested to know what happens to these prices with the tariffs now.
To me, it's an investment of $26.28 because pretty soon I'll be able to resell this thing for probably $80. I'm going to flip it.
Yeah. And these are going to be, the tariffs on this stuff is 145%. Like insane. And it's not just the cost of goods, like it's the freight, it's everything. Right. So not just what you're paying for it, but like what it costs to actually ship it across the ocean or air it in. When that hits, when that hits the port, it's 145% more from China. Insane.
Well, on that,
luckily they don't make very much stuff for us.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
That's right. Go stock up on toilet paper.
Go buy all the chargers that you can. Buy all the Chinese goods you can right now that are already in the country, and then hold on to them. Put them in a warehouse, and you'll make a killing.
All right. Thanks so much, Monaster. All right, guys. We'll do this again next week. Tune in, tune out, recycle.